Who's your celebrity crush? I don't really have a celebrity crush, honestly. No one believes me when I say that, but I really don't. I'm more of a people person. Get to know you.
Boys aren't interesting or complicated. Boys are difficult.
Driving around town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you.
My Instagram girlfriend, Abby. Oh my god. Jenna Hayes is here, so that's awesome. So I got my girlfriend all the way in Australia.
Oh yeah, because she's Greg from Dillinger's girlfriend.
Yeah, and we know them really well.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I guess the change in my pocket just wasn't enough, and I'm like, forget you and forget her too. I said if I was richer, I'd still be with you. Ain't that some and all the pain in my chest, I still.
You have a choice to take me or Paisley home, or you can come home with us. It doesn't matter. Who do you pick?
Ah, that's a tough choice here. He asked me to marry him. What are you offering?
Hey, I love your shoes. I think we would have a great clothing relationship.
We'd have a great clothing relationship, but are you offering up a sex life?
Yes.
Question. Wow. Well,
Clothing and what you want me to?
Like 0 for 6.
I think you might be getting screwed, but you know what?
You're taking again. Taylor, Pretty Reckless, Rock on the Range. Keep checking in with us. It's Roxy.
I can't compete. I'm out of here.
Bye.
You the best with a forget you and forget her too. Music is a world within itself, with a language we all understand.
First of all, sexy competition.
See you driving around town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you. I guess the change in my pocket just wasn't me, my lover, and say that I don't have to pretend.
Amazing.
But girls,
It's gotta come off.
was a surprise.
Give it up for these two gorgeous ladies up here. Thank you, girls. Come on, give them a fucking round of applause. That was awesome. was richer, I'd still be with you.
I have to ask you a question.
Yes.
Have you ever considered a girl?
Not only have I considered a girl,
Because then I'm recruiting.
I know quite a few girls. So let's see how well you pull this off. And we'll talk.
Like, okay, sure, I'm gay, that's okay. It's not even worth arguing. It's like, okay, sure, I'm gay, that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, I mean, even if you are, like, there's nothing wrong. Like, whoever you are, whatever that means, is the best person you can be, and not everyone's gonna like you. If you haven't found your circle in high school or wherever it is, you will eventually. Like, don't worry about it. If you can find something that can keep you happy with just yourself and be confident in who you are, the rest of it shouldn't matter. I mean, it can get under your skin sometimes and bother you, I understand that. But don't look at it like it's the end of the world. It always gets better. It's just another day.